Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I'm Maya.
And I'm Ethan. It's wonderful to have you with us today. Whether you're listening while driving, cooking, walking, or simply relaxing, thank you for spending some time with us.
Today, we're talking about something that almost everyone has, but surprisingly few people truly build their lives around.
That's right. Today's topic is why big dreams fail without small daily habits.
Let me start with a question. Have you ever imagined a completely different version of your future? Maybe speaking another language confidently, starting your own business, writing a book, traveling the world, or simply becoming a calmer, happier person?
I think almost everyone has. The interesting part is that dreaming is actually easy. Our minds are incredibly good at imagining better futures.
But somewhere between imagining and doing, something changes.
Exactly. And that's what we want to explore today. Why do so many dreams stay exactly where they started, in our imagination?
You know, I recently found an old notebook from when I was about 16. It was full of goals. Learn guitar, read 100 books, wake up at 5 every morning, become fluent in another language.
That's ambitious.
Very ambitious. And honestly, a little unrealistic.
Let me guess. Most of them never happened?
Not the way I imagined. At first, I laughed because it felt like reading someone else's life. But then I noticed something interesting.
What was that?
The dreams weren't the problem. The problem was that every goal depended on becoming a completely different person overnight.
That's such an important observation. We often think success begins with one huge decision, but psychology suggests something different.
Go on.
Our brains love exciting ideas. Just imagining success gives us a small emotional reward. We picture ourselves crossing a finish line before we've even tied our shoes.
That's such a funny image, but it's true.
We've all done it. You buy a notebook, watch 3 motivational videos, create the perfect schedule, and suddenly you already feel productive.
Then Tuesday arrives.
Exactly. Tuesday is where reality begins.
I've noticed that dreams usually don't disappear because people are lazy. They disappear because everyday life is ordinary.
Bills.
Laundry. Emails. Traffic. And somehow those ordinary moments seem much stronger than our extraordinary dreams. Can I ask you something?
Of course.
Why do small habits matter so much? I mean, if someone dreams of writing a novel, how does writing 1 page a day really make a difference?
Because habits solve a problem that motivation can't.
Explain that.
Motivation is emotional. Habits are structural. Motivation asks, do I feel like doing this today? Habits quietly answer, this is simply what I do.
I like that distinction.
Think about brushing your teeth. Most people don't wake up feeling deeply inspired to brush their teeth.
I hope not.
Exactly. It's automatic. You don't debate it. Your identity already includes that behavior.
So you're saying successful habits become part of who we believe we are?
Yes. That's why identity is more powerful than willpower.
That's an interesting expression. Willpower. If you're learning English, you'll hear that word often. It simply means the mental strength to keep doing something difficult.
And here's the problem. Willpower gets tired. Identity doesn't.
Wow, that's worth thinking about.
Let me tell you a story.
I'd love that.
A friend of mine wanted to run a marathon. For weeks, he kept saying, I'm going to start training next Monday.
The famous Monday.
Yes. Apparently, Monday has magical powers.
It also carries a lot of pressure.
Exactly. Every Monday, he planned the perfect routine. Every Friday, he felt guilty because he hadn't followed it.
I've been there.
Then, One day he changed one thing. Instead of training for an hour, he promised himself he would simply put on his running shoes every morning.
Just the shoes?
Just the shoes.
That almost sounds too easy.
That's why it worked. Some mornings he stopped there. Other mornings he walked around the block. Eventually, those walks became short runs. Months later, he completed his first half marathon.
So the real habit wasn't running.
No, the habit was becoming someone who shows up.
That's a beautiful phrase.
Showing up is underrated. I'd like everyone listening to pause for just a moment. Think about one dream you've been carrying for a long time.
It doesn't have to be impressive.
Maybe it's learning English more confidently.
Maybe it's rebuilding a friendship.
Maybe it's becoming healthier.
Now, ask yourself a different question.
Not, how do I achieve it?
But what kind of person would naturally move toward this dream?
That's a subtle difference.
It really is.
Because once you answer that question, your focus changes from chasing outcomes to practicing identities.
I've never thought about it that way.
Here's another example. Imagine two people trying to save money.
Okay.
One says, I hope I don't spend too much this month.
And the other?
The other says, I'm someone who thinks carefully before buying.
Same goal, different identity.
Exactly. Small difference in language, huge difference in behavior.
Language really shapes the way we think, doesn't it?
It does. That's one reason conversations matter so much. The words we repeat quietly become the stories we believe.
Speaking of stories, have you ever noticed how quickly people compare themselves to others?
All the time.
Someone else seems to learn faster, earn more, travel more, succeed earlier.
And suddenly our own progress feels invisible.
Which is unfair because we're usually comparing our everyday reality with someone else's highlight reel.
That's a natural expression you'll hear often. Highlight reel. It means we usually see only the best moments of other people's lives, not the difficult parts.
And when we compare like that, small habits start to feel meaningless.
But they're not meaningless. They're just quiet.
That's such an important difference.
Big achievements are loud. Daily habits are almost invisible. But invisible doesn't mean unimportant.
In fact, maybe the quiet things shape us the most.
I believe they do.
Before we finish today, I'd love to leave everyone with one simple thought.
Imagine your future self meeting you tonight.
Not 10 years from now.
Just imagine they appear for 5 minutes.
What would they thank you for doing today?
Probably not something dramatic.
Maybe reading one chapter,
Taking a short walk.
practicing English for 10 minutes.
Calling someone you care about.
Tiny actions rarely feel life-changing in the moment.
But repeated over weeks, months, and years, they quietly become your life.
So maybe big dreams don't fail because they're impossible.
Maybe they fail because we expect extraordinary results from ordinary inconsistency.
Instead, let's build extraordinary lives through ordinary consistency.
One habit,
One conversation.
one thoughtful choice at a time.
Thank you so much for spending these moments with us. We truly appreciate you being part of the Mind Over Words community.
And before you go, we'd love to hear from you. In the comments, tell us, what's one small daily habit that could move you closer to your biggest dream?
Until next time, take care of yourself, stay curious, and remember, your future isn't built in a single day. It's built by the small decisions you repeat every day.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode.
You know, there's another idea we didn't have time to explore, and I think it's one of the biggest reasons people quietly give up on their dreams.
What's that?
They mistake slow progress for no progress.
That's such a common trap. Our brains are wired to notice dramatic changes. We celebrate the 10-kilogram weight loss, the promotion, the finished project, but we rarely notice the person who simply kept showing up every day.
It's a bit like watching a tree grow.
Exactly. If you stare at it every afternoon, it seems exactly the same. But come back a year later, and it's completely different. Personal growth feels like that, doesn't it? It does. Learning English is a perfect example. There are days when you feel like you're forgetting more words than you're learning.
I've had that feeling.
Most learners have. Then one day, you're watching a movie or talking to someone, and suddenly you understand a sentence that would have confused you 6 months earlier.
The progress was happening all along. You just couldn't see it day by day.
Right. That's why consistency requires trust. Sometimes you have to trust the process before you can see the results.
I love that phrase, trust the process. It's something you'll hear often in English, especially when people are learning a new skill. It means believing that steady effort will eventually pay off, even when today's results feel small.
And that belief is incredibly powerful.
Can I share a little thought experiment?
Please do.
Imagine there are two people who both want to become better public speakers.
Okay.
The first person gives one amazing speech every 6 months.
Sounds impressive.
The second person practices speaking for 5 minutes every single day.
At first, the first person probably looks more successful.
Exactly. But after a year, who has built the stronger foundation? Almost certainly the second person. Because confidence isn't built during the performance. It's built during the quiet practice that nobody sees. That's true for relationships, too.
Absolutely. Healthy relationships aren't created by one grand romantic gesture.
They're built through small conversations.
Listening,
Keeping promises.
being present.
Those habits don't usually make headlines, but they create trust.
And trust, just like confidence, grows slowly.
Maybe that's the hidden lesson in today's conversation.
Which is?
We often chase dramatic moments when our lives are really shaped by ordinary ones.
That's beautifully said.
So, wherever you are today, maybe don't ask yourself, how can I change my entire life this month?
Instead, ask, what's one small action that tomorrow's version of me will be grateful I started today?
Sometimes the smallest question leads to the biggest change.
And sometimes the smallest habit becomes the beginning of an entirely new identity.
That's a hopeful thought to carry with us.
It is. Because no matter where you're starting, today is always a good day to begin again.
You know what else I've been thinking about?
What's on your mind?
We often talk about habits as if they're only about productivity. Wake up earlier, read more, exercise, save money. But I don't think habits are just about getting more done.
I agree. At their best, habits aren't about becoming busier. They're about becoming more intentional.
That's a great word, intentional.
It means doing something on purpose instead of simply reacting to whatever happens around you.
I think many of us spend our days reacting. A message arrives, we answer it. A notification appears, we check it. Someone asks for our time, we immediately say yes.
And before we know it, the day is over.
Exactly. Then we wonder why our dream didn't move any closer. There's a psychological concept that fits perfectly here. It's called the default mode. That sounds interesting. What's that?
Imagine you're floating down a river. If you never pick up a paddle, the current decides where you go.
So the default mode is letting life carry you?
Pretty much. If we don't choose our direction, our environment chooses it for us.
Social media chooses it.
Advertising chooses it.
Other people's priorities choose it.
And suddenly, we're living a life we never consciously decided to build.
That's a little uncomfortable to hear.
It is, but it's also empowering
How so?
because you don't need to control everything. You only need to reclaim a few moments each day.
A few moments?
Think about 10 minutes in the morning before checking your phone,
Or reading a few pages instead of scrolling.
or taking a short walk without listening to anything.
Those moments seem small, but they remind you that you're making choices instead of simply reacting.
Exactly. Every intentional action tells your brain, I'm the one steering this ship.
That's such a comforting image.
Here's another thought. We often believe confidence comes first.
As in, once I feel confident, then I'll start?
Yes, but in reality, confidence usually comes after action.
That's so true.
Think about the first time you drove a car, gave a presentation, or spoke English with someone new.
None of those felt comfortable.
Not at all. Confidence wasn't the starting point. It was the result of repeating something that initially felt awkward.
I think that's encouraging for anyone listening who's waiting to feel ready.
Because the truth is, readiness is often created through practice, not before it.
That's another phrase worth remembering. Take the first step. In English, people often say that when encouraging someone to begin, even if they don't feel completely prepared.
And usually, the first step is much smaller than we imagine.
You don't have to write an entire book today.
Just write one paragraph.
You don't have to become fluent this month.
Just have one meaningful conversation.
You don't have to reinvent your life overnight.
Just make today's choices a little closer to the person you hope to become.
You know, when we started today's conversation, we asked why big dreams fail.
And I don't think it's because people dream too big.
No, I don't think so either.
I think many dreams quietly fade because they're waiting for a perfect moment that never arrives.
While small habits begin with ordinary moments.
And ordinary moments are available every single day.
Maybe that's the real secret.
Big dreams aren't built during extraordinary days.
They're built during ordinary Tuesdays.
I love that.
Me too. Because it makes success feel a little less mysterious.
And a lot more achievable.
So wherever you are right now, whether you're walking home, sitting on a train, or finishing your morning coffee, remember this.
Your future self isn't asking you for perfection.
Just one small decision.
Then another tomorrow.
And another after that.
Because those tiny decisions, repeated with patience, eventually become the life you once only imagined.
Before we wrap up, I'd like to leave everyone with one final idea. It's something I heard years ago, and it stayed with me.
I love ideas like that. What was it?
Someone said, the life you want is hidden inside the things you do consistently.
That's simple, but it's surprisingly profound.
At first, I didn't really understand it. I kept thinking success came from big opportunities.
Most of us do.
But then I started looking at people I admire. Not celebrities, just ordinary people who seem peaceful, confident, and fulfilled.
What did you notice?
Their lives weren't built on dramatic moments. They had quiet routines. They protected their mornings. They kept learning. They stayed curious. They were kind, even when nobody was watching.
That's something psychology often reminds us of. Character isn't revealed only in important moments. It's shaped in ordinary ones.
I like that. It takes the pressure off.
Exactly. Because if your future depends only on one huge opportunity, life feels uncertain.
But if your future depends on today's habits,
Then you already have something you can influence.
that's a much more hopeful way to think.
It is. We can't control every opportunity that comes our way. We can't control the economy or other people's opinions.
Or unexpected setbacks.
But we can usually choose how we spend the next 10 minutes.
And sometimes, that's enough.
More than enough.
You know, There's another English expression that fits perfectly here. One step at a time.
It's a phrase people use when a challenge feels overwhelming. Instead of worrying about the entire journey, you focus only on the next step.
I think that's exactly how meaningful change happens.
Me too.
Before we say goodbye, let's invite everyone listening to do something simple.
Don't make a list of 20 new habits.
Don't redesign your whole life tonight.
Just choose one habit.
Make it so small that it almost feels impossible to skip.
Then repeat it tomorrow.
And the day after that.
Because success isn't usually one giant leap.
It's hundreds of tiny steps that quietly point in the same direction.
If today's conversation gave you something to think about, we hope you'll carry one idea with you.
Your dreams deserve more than occasional motivation.
They deserve your daily attention.
Even if it's only for a few minutes.
Those few minutes might not seem important today,
but one day you'll look back and realize they changed everything.
Thank you so much for spending this time with us. We never take your attention for granted, and we're grateful you've chosen to share part of your day with us.
And we'd love to continue the conversation with you.
So here's our question for today.
What's one small daily habit you're going to start this week that your future self will thank you for?
Share your answer in the comments. Your story might inspire someone else to take their own first small step.
Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and remember,
big dreams aren't built in extraordinary moments.
They're built through ordinary choices, repeated with patience, courage, and hope.
Take care, and we'll see you in the next episode.